Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Created to Write. I am Michelle Dennis Evans, your host, and today I have with me the lovely Nikki Rogers. Welcome to the show, Nikki.
Thank you so much for having me, Michelle. It's great to meet you today and to have a chat with you. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, me too. We met briefly last year at a market day at our church. So it was really cool to meet you on that day. And we had the opportunity to sell some books there for Christmas, which was
Yeah.
fun. And tell everyone a little bit about you, Nikki.
So I write for children. So I am a Christian writer, but my books aren't overtly Christian or religious, but they do have that Christian flavor, the positive message. So I particularly write for ages approximately 2 to 8 years old, but I have had, parents and grandparents say that they enjoy reading them as well. So I just really love to write stories that are going to inspire and encourage children and encourage them to be who they were created to be.
Love that. And so, how has your faith shaped your writing?
So faith shapes everything that I write about. I think our worldview comes through with what we write and what we do and what we say. And so that belief that every person has value and a purpose and God has a plan for everyone, that comes through with my writing as well.
Hmm. Very cool. So, have you had any hard seasons since you've been writing?
There are definitely hard seasons. I think you would probably find yourself that, once you write your story, then you've got to get it out there. And the marketing can be quite difficult, trying to get it in front of the right people, trying to meet the right people, trying to get people to see your vision or even have a look at what you've done. That can be really challenging. Uh, since COVID, it has been very challenging for me to get into bookstores because a lot of those children's stores that I had my books in have closed down. So that can be a very challenging time as well. I've also gone through a season where I just haven't been as inspired to write. So I had about 10 years where I was bringing out a new book every year because it was prime time in my children's early development and I was writing things for them and inspired by them. And every time I was teaching them something, they would come out in a little story in a creative way. And as they got older, those opportunities changed. They changed, I changed. So, yeah, I think during those seasons, you still pursue what God's called you to do, but it might look a little bit different.
Hmm. I found that was the easy time for me to be writing a lot when my children were young too. Even
Mm.
though I wasn't writing for them, I was writing for the age group above them. But it was something about the emotional and conversational needs of children for me changed. And so that a lot of that energy came out of my writing and into my children. I feel like I'm getting back into it more now, which is I'm really I'm so thankful for it, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
change anything. I'd love the mummyhood.
Yes.
And how do you go about your revisions and editing and all that side of writing?
The revision and editing, this is something I talk to when I go and do school visits and talk to kids about writing, is just how important the editing process is. So I will read through my stories multiple times. Have written I've got the story out on paper, but then I read through it, see if I can word it better, if I'm using the best descriptive language, or if I really need all those words with picture books, you want to make every word count. And then I'll read it out loud. Because with children's books, it's really about how it sounds when you're reading it out loud. Is it fun to read? Does it flow? Is it easy to read to get the syllables out, especially if it's in rhyme? But I think about the rhythm. And then sometimes I can read it and think it sounds great and give it to somebody else to read and hear them read it out loud, and it's not quite flowing how I thought it would. So getting other people to read through my work and give advice and then hearing them read it out loud as well. And I also, after getting that kind of feedback, I do send it to people who are in the business of editing, so professional editors. And I usually send it to a few different editors and you end up getting different feedback. So then I have to go through, okay, which feedback am I going to take on board to make this the best that I think I can make it?
Hmm. Yes, absolutely. I reading aloud isn't just for children's books. I read mine aloud too, and I've
Yeah.
heard that a lot of very good authors read their books aloud or now put it through a text to voice on the computer, even.
Yeah,
And
right.
just hearing it read, you pick up all those things that just don't work.
Yes.
Yeah. Very
Yeah.
cool. Very cool. And tell us a highlight of your author journey so far.
Highlights. I love going to markets because then I get to meet a lot of people. And often people come back and say, oh, how much they loved my book, or they'll come back and buy more books, or they'll say things like they can recite my book off by heart because their child asks for it every night. So they've read it 1,000 times. And that's it's always very encouraging when people give you feedback. Sometimes I get messages or through my contact page online, people might reach out to me and just let me know that they really love my books. And I think for somebody to take the time to reach out and let you know that they love your work is a major highlight. It's very encouraging. Sometimes I hear feedback that, oh, my kids have named their pet chickens after your chickens in your story, and that's very encouraging as well. So I really go back to those things during those difficult seasons and try and read through those reviews, or look back on those messages, or remember the conversation that I had with somebody. And that really inspires me to keep going. Because
Hmm.
sometimes you feel like, okay, is this season over? Is that done with?
Hmm.
And then I'll get some feedback like that. And it reminds me, no, there are more children that still need these stories, that God's not done with this yet.
Yes, so true. Writing is such uh, it can be really lonely sometimes, and often we don't hear much feedback for a long time. So that's really wise of you to go back to what you've heard and remember those messages sent to you.
Mm.
Very cool. Well, everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Go check out Nikki's books and leave a review online where they're listed. Are they on Goodreads or are they on Amazon?
They're on Goodreads, they're on Amazon as well. Yes.
Awesome. Jump on those sites, leave a review for Nikki because reviews also help with book sales, as we all know. And before we go, what are some words of wisdom you would like to leave everyone?
I think that when we write books, we have this incredible opportunity to share our thoughts and feelings with someone else. That's such an incredible opportunity. So if we can sow things like kindness and generosity and those positive traits and leave someone feeling valued and encouraged, then we're sowing seeds that can grow into something beautiful. Make a difference for life. So I encourage you, if you're inspired to write, then write. Even if it doesn't end up being traditionally published and going out to thousands of people, just the fact that it can be shared with somebody, I think is a very powerful gift.
Hmm. Love that. Thank you so much for joining me today, Nikki.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure, Michelle.
Awesome. And thank you, everyone, for watching today. Remember, you were created to create and created to write.